Hello and welcome to this review of Douhan's Triple Distilled Irish Whiskey. I bought this at Walmart. It was $19.99 or $19.96. If I had waited 2 weeks, I could have got it for $9 because they did a closeout. They wanted to get rid of it at this local Walmart. Dropped them all down to $9. I said, oh, if I'd only known, but how would you know? All the other Walmarts around here, Boutte, Louisiana on US Highway 90, Hammond, Louisiana on 190, $19.96 still. Okay, pretty green bottle. It is distilled, matured, and bottled in Ireland. A beautifully light and delicate blend of Irish whiskeys, all triple distilled and matured in oak casks. I have to read this because there's no website listing. This recipe captures the pleasant and approachable characteristics of an Irish whiskey, which are what? Soft, slightly toffee sweet, gently floral, and subtly oaky. This whiskey elegantly coats the palate, a fine display of traditional Irish craft and a truly fantastic whiskey. Okay, well, we'll see how fantastic. There are about 3 reviews on distiller.com. Not enough to give an average. There are about 3 video reviews for this, so watch those. This is not listed on Proof 66 website, review website. Okay. Now, if you look at the Walmart website, though, this is listed as Grandach, G-R-A-N-N-D-A-C-H, Douhan's, Grandach Douhan's. Which is a little strange because there's a boxed, it comes in a black box, a blended Scotch whiskey called Grandach, blended Scotch whiskey. So obviously there's a relationship, but I can't figure out what that relationship is. Some of the viewers might know because it's clearly listed on their website as that Grandach Douhan's. Okay, dim light because it's rainy today outside. Try to go walking one more time. Got it in this D'Amore glass. I had 4 beautiful Glencairn glasses that John and Neely gave me, and it took me about 1.5 years to break them all. And you could say it was carelessness, but I think it was that they're so flimsy. Anyway, nice, relatively uniform alcohol legs or drippings. It's clear straw gold, very clear. No sediment in this item. Alright, so I've been seeing this on the shelves for about 3 or 4 years at Walmart, so now time to check it out. And then, as you can see, I'm planning to do a tournament with this and a taste challenge against these other 4 Irish whiskeys. The Paddies, or Paddy, as it used to be called in the old bottles. Bushmills, Red Bush, Black Bush, and the original, but I'll probably go in reverse order. The original, the one from 1980, and the one from 2017. Rain is starting up again. I don't know how he's cutting his grass in the rain. I don't like to do that. Okay. It's a little pungent in the nose, but it's, like they're saying, soft and mild. But there is a little pungency, I have to admit. And what is that of? Mostly grain whiskey, which in the United States they would call grain spirits, corn whiskey, corn alcohol, grain neutral spirits, more or less. It's just column distilled corn. Doesn't have to be corn. Could be rice, could be wheat, could be barley. As long as it's grain. But corn is the big mass-produced commodity product, and it's government subsidized and it's very cheap relative to the others, so that's what they use. And then you're going to have single malt whiskey, barley malt whiskey blended in to give it the flavor. And in Ireland they use the EY for whiskey, K-E-Y, whereas in England and Scotland it's K-Y. In Canada, it's S-K-Y. In the United States, it's K-E-Y or K-Y, depending on who's making it. And if you look at U.S. government documents, however, it's S-K-Y, not EY. But they're both acceptable in the USA. And you'll see people spelling it both ways. So it is mild and pleasant. Trying to think about the wood that they mentioned. Guess, well, they just said it was Asian oak. They didn't really talk about wood notes. I guess there's a faint bit of that. Let's go with the taste. Tastes like Jameson. Well, I shouldn't say that. But when I tried Jameson one time in my life, and then I tried two of those specialty ones like the Black Barrel and the IPA Barrel. But what I mean by that, it's like a Jameson I found had a sweet corn flavor. And then there was a little bread dough, maybe a touch of wood, and that was it. And that's what this, and I'm not saying what it was. When I say that was it, I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just saying that's what it was. It was pleasant. And this is the same thing. It's like simple, or simplistic, but pleasant. Patties, I found, as I kept drinking it, it was a little too much grain whiskey. You know what I'm saying? A little heavy on the grain, like cereal grain. Tastes like cereal, literally, a bowl of cereal. And a little bitey, which I didn't adore. And the same price. So patties, $19.99 at Total Wine and More, and this was $19.96 at Walmart. So we're talking about pennies. Now these will be a little more. Now, yeah, you can go to Savannah Discount and get this for $9.99. I don't know why. My friend David called. I talked to him on the phone Sunday. He said, "I bought another bottle of Bush Mills Red." Bush. I said, "Yeah." And before I could say what I was about to say, he said, $10 a bottle, $9.99. I said, oh, craziest price in the world. So he couldn't help himself. But normally it's about $22. So about $20, $22, and $30 for those. And the Black Bush was clearly the lead in these five. I mean, it's the most exuberant and exquisite flavor. I wouldn't say it is exquisite, but the most exquisite of those five. And it is a higher proof. So yeah, the Black Bush is really, it does live up to its price point. Now does this, oh wait, okay, body and finish. It's medium body. It's a little silky in the mouthfeel, or if you want to say oily. And it's a pretty crisp finish, dry finish. So $19.96. Well, I'll be talking about that in 20 years. I'll be saying, you know, I could have got it for $9 if I'd have waited 2 weeks. And people say, we heard that story so many times. I think it lives up to the price point. Now, is it a popular product? Obviously not. I've seen 3 video reviews, 3 written reviews on distiller.com. I never hear anybody talk about it. I see it on the shelves of Walmart. It seems like it's the same amount every time I go back. I could be wrong. It could be rotating out. The bottles they sold here at the closeout were covered with dust, as was this. I cleaned it off with warm water, so I think we can. You'd never see Jameson covered with dust. You wouldn't see Bushmills covered with dust. I don't believe so. But to be fair, yeah, it's nice and smooth. I'll score it. Let's have a little tiny bite to it. I'll score it 88, B+. I think it's a very good product. I wouldn't go to excellent, but it's very good. I was going to say, there's a lot of niche products of any type of liquor, not to mention beer and wine, but we're on liquor right now. So rum, yeah, you got Bacardi and Captain Morgan White and all, you know, the main brands. And you got people that latch onto those and they're not going to deviate. You got Scotch, same thing. You know, get J&B, I'm only drinking that. I'm only going to drink Cuddy Sark and that's it. Bourbon, I'm only drinking Jack Daniels. I'm only drinking Jim Beam. I'm only going to drink my Evan Williams. I'm never going to deviate. And so on. The Irish whiskey, I'm drinking my Jameson. tequila. I'm drinking my Cuervo Gold, baby, you know, and those get entrenched in the market. They become entrenched, and a friend of mine on the internet, and probably in real life too, I think we'll meet up one day, we hope, but Jeff Lyons, he likes to post things, and Alcoholics, about little posts about kind of off-brand, you hate to use that term, off-brand Irish cream liqueurs. Because everybody, you know, they're going to drink Carolyn's, and even more so, much more so, Bailey's. So Carolyn's, I'm only drinking that. I'm only going to drink Bailey's. I'm never going to deviate. But there might be, if you searched around your town, could be 30 others. And I gave my daughter McCormick's one year. She thought it was very good, so, and I did too. So everybody can't be number one, right? So, or number 10 or number 20. So it is interesting to try these brands that get so much less attention. And the perception that people have, I think, is that it's going to be terrible. Oh, it's going to be terrible. And my friend David said, why you deal with those cheap brands? And I said, well, we don't know if they're bad because we haven't tried them. And I'm willing to give them a shot. Have some of them been questionable? Well, sure, yeah. Especially the ones with a strangely low price. But then on the other hand, most Canadian whiskey, whatever, American blended, these strange brands, these under the radar brands are quite good. And this is one that fits into that category. It's pretty much unknown, rarely discussed. It exists. I bought it and I think it's very good. So could I get a lot more viewership, as people like to chase views, say I got this many views on my channel, by doing only the major brands? Of course, and I would get a lot more views, because if I do this, you get a handful of people watching and they make comments. If I do Bacardi, it's 50 times the amount. But that's only expected. It's a natural thing. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to just do things that everybody knows about so I can go and say, look at me, I got all these views. No, that's not the goal of the channel. You say, well, what is the goal of the channel? The goal of the channel is just to try products and tell you what I think about them, really. And those are fascinating to me. So I did the Bankers Club American Blended Whiskey. One day I'll probably do their straight bourbon, which is right there, Total Line. I'm doing the Douhans. And, but of course, on the other hand, the next Irish whiskey on my to-buy list is the Jameson. So, but I have Tullamore Dew coming up because I already bought it. So anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do mostly mainline brands, but there will be the more than occasional not mainline brand. All right, enough of that. So I really like it. I would recommend it. And I mean, you know, Walmart is common, but we know the hitch. Most people's Walmarts don't sell beer, wine, and liquor. Well, at least liquor. But over here, it's open season, you know. Beer, wine, and liquor in the liquor section. You can pull gin right off the shelf like a loaf of bread. There's no, you just go grab it and then you check out later when you're ready. So that's an interesting thing with comparing this state to other states. So Les Bon Ton Relais, a very good Irish whiskey. I do like Irish whiskey. The complaint that I hear is that it's too bland. I think it's designed to be demure. Let's use the word demure. So you can't knock a product if it is what it's designed to be, which is demure, mild, mellow, easygoing, and everything. So yeah, I don't take issue with it. Do I prefer bolder types of whiskey? I guess I do prefer bolder types, but I do like these. And I would say, you know, y'all go on down to Ireland. Go over to Ireland, like you could do that right now anyway, but go to Ireland and tour the distillery. I don't know where this was made. Thanks for watching this video production.